My name is Multiplier, and in this video, it's almost like a part 2 to a video I did a while ago called How to Name Yourself as an Artist / DJ / Music Producer person on the internet. I can't remember the exact title, but that's not important. Anyway, in that video, I outlined I think it was 3 main principles behind naming yourself as a DJ or music producer, and they're great tips. But I've had some additional thoughts. In the modern age, I'm going to call this video something along the lines of how to name yourself as a DJ / artist, music producer person on the internet person name thing in 2019. It's the current modern current events affairs. The new year content starts now. So 2 ideas. The first of which is, now you may have heard of this thing called the Alexa. Is it Amazon Echo, Alexa, Google Smart Voice thing, Apple Siri. Yeah, you know what I mean. Voice assistant, voice, these little boxes you put in your house. I have one, can't even remember the name of it. So you buy these little boxes and you say, Alexa, play Skrillex or play Diplo. And then it goes, okay, here is a song from Diplo. And then it plays the Diplo song because if it's connected to the internet and it has voice recognition. Voice recognition, that's the key part of this. You may be seeing where I'm going with this. So voice recognition, I think it's going to be a big part of the future. It's not going to be everything, but it's going to be big. I think if you project 5 to 10 years out, a good percentage, maybe 20% of people listening to music will be listening through voice search. I mean, certainly maybe 10% or 10 to 20 maybe. They'll be like, do a dubstep. Well, actually, that's not relevant to this point. They'll say something like, play an RL Grime track or whatever your favorite artiste in the electronic music world is, or non-electronic world. People will just be like, play a song from this person. Hopefully with all that jibber jabber, you've kind of pieced together what my point will be. And my point is this. So if you name yourself something that can't really be pronounced, or at least can't easily be read by an algorithm, that's going to make it difficult. If you call it, Tunug, for example, let's start with an easier example. deadmau5. Just joking, that's deadmau5. In fact, I reckon if you say deadmau5, Alexa will know what you're on about. But imagine you're not as big as deadmau5, or maybe your name's more confusing. Maybe it's like a squiggle and a dash and an emoji. Then you may pronounce it or boop. But if the algorithm can't read that, and you're not a giant pop act that maybe they've manually entered the name in for, like deadmau5, I'm sure, then that might make it more difficult for people to play your songs, because they'll be like, Alexa, play or boop for consistency, that's why. And then it'll go, I'm sorry, we don't know who that is. Would you like some Boney M? No. Okay, and that's going to be a problematic experience. And as I say, this won't be the majority necessarily. It won't be the majority of people just playing your music, but it'll be a big percentage, and 10% maybe, 20. But that's still big in the grand scheme of things. So think about that when naming your name. Is it something that an algorithm could kind of figure out? Or is it a bit too confusing? I mean, if it's using a standard naming convention that maybe AI or just computer magic can figure out, like if in the case of deadmau5, for example, that's the AU5. That's within the realms of something that, maybe not now, but it's within the realms of something that a computer algorithm could work out what people mean and how to pronounce. But if it's really confusing your name, then that's going to make it more difficult, which it's by no means a deal breaker. In fact, it's nowhere near even that important, but it's certainly just not going to be helpful if people can't play your music when shouting to their Google box or Apple box, their computer stuff, Echo, Alexa, Amazon thing. So that's idea number 1. Idea number 2, an idea from Seth Godin in his book, one of my favorite books, called Some Large Number of Riffs, Rants, and other business ideas. Not important anyway, but something to consider is alphabetical order. So let's say, for example, this doesn't actually happen that often, but it happens sometimes. When you're scrolling through on your phone, maybe a telephone's over there. When you're on your telephone, I'll get it. I'm on my telephone. I'm going to the music bit. On the music, I'm going to library. Now it wants me to buy Apple Music. No. Get 3 months free. Not now. Artists. And now, notice this. So the artists, even in focus, I have no idea. Anyway, not important. Yeah, just a screenshot. There you go. Doink. Look at that for professional. The artists are in order, in alphabetical, words are difficult, in alphabetical order. Now, of course, this requires them to have downloaded your song. And this, of course, is just one example on the Apple Music bit. But it illustrates the point, right, that there will be times where things are literally just listed in alphabetical order. So, I mean, this is, in all seriousness, something that I've experienced as a consumer. So I'm much more likely to play one of my favorite songs from Africa High Tech called Out in the Streets. I'd play it now, but probably get the video taken down. This one, Africa High Tech's Out in the Streets, sampling that... They call it murder. Boom, 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 boom. That was a perfect rendition. But anyway, it's one of my favorite songs, but not really. But it's in the top 100 or 200. But because it's in the top 200, nowhere near the top 20 or 30, but top 500. But because it's in the top of the list, because artists A, Africa High Tech, I play it more often. I mean, as I say, I don't always, when I'm looking for songs to play, just go into artists and start scrolling down. But every now and then I do. And so it's better, all things being equal, to begin with the letter A than the letter Z. So if you call yourself Zoo, 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 that would be bad. Actually, that's quite a memorable name, so that's probably quite good. If you called yourself Yellow Man, that would be bad, because Y's a long way down the list. Whereas if you called yourself Adam, like my name's Multiplier on the internet, but Adam in real life. If you just called yourself, that's a bad example. If you called yourself Adam the Ant, is that a man? I think it's a thing, isn't it? Ali Love, there you go. There's an example. Or Alex Perez, AK9, artists Adele, a track, artists beginning with the letter A. Then you're going to get slightly more clicks, plays, and fans listening to your stuff than you would otherwise. That's minor. That's even less important than the first idea, but it's something to consider. So this, I suppose, is part of the whole concept behind naming yourself. There are very few names that are deal breakers. If you called yourself, I mean, you can just imagine there are names that would actually hinder your career starting. So that would be bad. But outside of that, there are very few names that would stop it being possible for you to grow and succeed. But there are also many things you can do to give yourself a slightly better chance, or that's maybe the wrong way around. There are many things you can do that will make it harder for yourself. If you called yourself this, for example, actually that's a deal breaker. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. But if you called yourself this, it's more difficult for people to, first of all, remember you. I mean, that bunch of squiggles doesn't connect with my brain very easily, or sort of go into my memory bank very easily. But I also can't tell anyone what it is, because how do you even say that? So it's probably not a deal breaker, but right on the edge. This is probably a slightly better example. So this is just slightly more difficult than it needs to be. And that would be bad. So don't make it more difficult for people to remember your music or share it. And it's all these sort of tips and tricks that can give yourself just a bit of a help. And that's what it is. If you keep adding 2% here, 2% here, 2% there, that's 6 or 8. Lost track of the number 2s, I said, but you get the idea. Don't make it harder for people to like what you do. And in the case of this alphabetical thing, all things being equal, it's better to be at the top of the list of the letters. A, B, C, D, E. Don't go any harder than that. Just make sure your name begins with one of those letters. Preferably A, B, or just A. Just start with A. Don't need to. There's loads of words that begin with A. Apple. I was thinking of orangutan. That's O. Aardvark. Actually, no one can spell that. Is that 2 A's? I think it is. That's brilliant. Actually, Aardvark. Patent pending, trademark. Actually, no, you can call yourself that. Freebie. Have that. Aardvark. Dress up as an aardvark. It's marketing. Easy. You wouldn't even need to hire a marketing agent for that. You just buy an aardvark suit. I stumbled into that. That is in the alphabetical list of things. Aardvark. Is it 2 A's? I'll be embarrassing if it's not 2 A's after all of that. Jibber jabber. Aardvark. It is. It's 2 A's. What a funny looking animal. Da-da. What a ridiculous thing. That looks photoshopped. It's not though. It's real. The aardvark is a medium-sized burrowing nocturnal mammal, native to Africa. Like Africa High Tech, there's a connection there, callback. It is the only living species of the order that's nearly like the word I said, the nonsense name. Tabulidentata. That is very close. That's impressive. Genius. I'm a genius. Although other prehistoric species and genre of are known. Unlike other insectivores, it has a long pig-like snout, which is used to sniff out food. Aardvark. Might have some lasers or something. Make it more exciting. Less creepy. And you've got yourself a DJ name. DJ Brand. Dead Mouse. Versus Aardvark. That's a marketing. Ears, snout. Just throwing away ideas. Throwing away ideas to the world. Catch you guys in the flip.